Every morning, Nanichora Das Baul gets up at 7 sharp to become a shapeshifter. He becomes Durga or the Demon King, a skeleton sometimes Asura, and sometimes Shiva. Nanichora Das Baul is a Bohurupi, a quick change artist in Bengal's hinterland who travel from village to village performing mythological skits. In his Bishoypur village in Birbhum district of West Bengal, there are only 107 other Bohurupis left today. It's a dying art in West Bengal. And Nonichora Das Baul, who I spoke to over the phone, is one of the Bohurupi artists who has made a living being a Bohurupi in Bengal's many villages. Bohurupis were once used by the British as spies. They are still used by political parties to canvass for votes during elections. But Nonichora Das Baul, a known Bohurupi for those who are interested in the art, has made the leap from the village to the big city Kolkata and from villages to the big screen. He is playing himself literally, a Bohurupi, in a new film set for a Durga Puja release called Bohurupi. He has acted in the film, he has sung two songs, of which one song, Shimul Polash, has been released, and it's already a huge hit on YouTube. And A.R. Rahman, no less, has spoken about the song on X. Nonichora Das Baul says that it was about time the big city, that is Kolkata, discovered the dying art of Bohurupis. Interestingly, the film is not just about Bohurupis, it's also about this particular Bohurupi who became a bank robber. It's based on a real story. It was a bank robber in the late 90s, early 2000s who robbed bank after bank by changing costume. Now, Shiva Prasad Mukherjee, the director of the film, who's also playing the lead, the Bohurupi turned bank robber, says that it took him a lot of time to learn the art of becoming a Bohurupi, and also he had to shed weight 10 kilos to fit into the role of a Bohurupi who later, like I said, became a bank robber. Coming back to Nonichora Das Baul, Nonichora Das Baul says that shape-shifting is not an easy ask. And sometimes when he does it in the village, he needs the shade of a tree. He and the other Bohurupi companions he has, they look for the shade of a tree or an empty empty classroom in a school to change costume and then again entertain village kids and elders as well as Bohurupi. I spoke to Satanic Paul, a doctoral candidate on caste from the National University of Singapore, who said that Bohurupis, it's a tragedy that Bohurupi art has been almost forgotten in Bengal. He said once the kings and the feudal lords and the zamindars would keep Bohurupis in their court for their entertainment. But these days, Bohurupi artists have been almost transformed into beggars. They literally beg, dressing up as mythological characters and performing skits from village to village. And he said that the reason for this is the fact that most of the Bohurupi artists come from the lower strata of society and belong to the lower castes. He said that this reflects the hypocrisy of the Kolkata Bhadralok, who would rather spend time watching plays in big theatres, in big theatre halls, rather than endorsing the art of the Bohurupis, rather than supporting Bohurupi art, which is an indigenous art form in West Bengal's villages. Satanic Paul told me that this goes back in time. In fact, there is no historical record of when Bohurupi art began. But it is so important that the culture keepers of Bengal preserve this art, talk about it, write about it, but all of that is not happening. And he says that it's interesting that a mainstream Bengali film, Bohurupi, by Shiva Prasad Mukherjee, is now coming out. And this film, at least, however the film is, it's, like I said, the story of a bank heist by a person who also was a Bohurupi. At least what the film might end up doing is put the spotlight back on Bohurupi artists of Bengal.